Introduce one of my students, Paige McCarowitz, is going to sing Titanium for you. Paige, are you coming out? I can't see you. There you are. Take it off. I would now like to ask Nellie back to the stage to present a special skit for us.
Limited by blame, empowered by support. Maya's story. Maya is a 35-year-old woman. She has been married for 16 years and has a 7-year-old son. Her husband Lee has been raping, beating, and berating her since before they were married. Maya has taken many steps surrounded by family, friends, and community. Maya has finally told her best friend Anita about the abuse. Are you telling me that wonderful husband of yours loses his temper, that he hits you, that you are powerless? Oh, I can't believe that. Besides, you are such a control freak yourself. Maya calls her mother, even though it's expensive to call home. Try harder, Maya. You are always the most stubborn one of your sisters. Their marriages are fine. They listen to their husbands. The neighbors have heard Maya's screams and sobs and the police sirens. The walls are pretty thin, Maya. People in the building are talking. Shift work and being on call for the railroad is hard for everyone. It must be so frustrating for your husband. You should try harder to keep that son of yours quiet so that poor husband of yours can get the rest he needs. Maya's mother-in-law lives close by, but she travels a lot. Don't whine, Maya. You're the one abusing my son. Do you know how many times a day I text him to make sure he's okay? Besides, who will believe you anyway? Remember the lies you told about my husband, that he tried to rape you? Because Maya's family has suggested she should try harder to fix her marriage, Maya reaches out to the community support worker and asks about marriage counseling. She is told that marriage can be very challenging, especially when your husband works shift work. But if the couple is very committed, they can make an appointment for counseling. Maya's son hides under the blankets when the violence begins. Sometimes he's noisy when his dad comes home from work, and then his dad gets angry at his mother. Mommy, why don't you take me to the park to play so Daddy won't be angry all the time? Why can't you make sure that Daddy gets enough sleep? When the police come, Lee generally does all the talking, but this time, because of a restraining order, he's not there. Hey, Lindy, now you say your husband's stalking you, and that when he parks outside for hours. But he told us you asked him to come pick up your son for school, and that as soon as he drove up and parked, you call us. Lady, I don't care if your son can confirm your story. Maya's son brought home a brochure from school. When Maya called, the counselor was very professional. She said that she had noticed that Maya's son had become withdrawn lately and wondered if there was anything going on at home that could explain the changes in his behavior. Maya is afraid to say anything because the school might report her for being a bad mother. The doctor, also very professional, didn't seem to understand Maya's situation. She had taken her son in for stitches after he fell playing in the backyard. It's not my job to decide if it was you or your husband that caused the big cut on your child's head, or if it was simply an accident. I'll let Child Protection Services figure that out. The social worker from the Ministry for Children and Family Development came to the house. Maya, we have heard reports that your son is getting into a lot of trouble lately. Is there anything going on at home that could cause this behavior? We have received a report from your doctor. Your son has been treated for a cut on his head. The doctor is unsure if it's accidental. Maybe you should get some counseling if you're having such difficulty with your parenting skills. Maya, why are you taking this? Why don't you just leave? After a couple of days, the social worker from the Ministry for Children and Family Development visits the family home. Maya, I realized the last time I stopped by, I may have overlooked some resources that are available for you and your son. If the situation at home is violent and unsafe, I can refer you to services that could provide you a safe place to stay, as well as assist you with making plans for the future. At Maya's next medical appointment, her doctor says, Maya, I've been reviewing your charts, and I can see that on many occasions your injuries could have been caused by somebody else, perhaps your husband. As your doctor, I could refer you to a number of local agencies that could help you sort out what is best for you and support you during this very stressful time. I could also write a letter to support your application for a restraining order. Maya decides to go to the mental health as suggested by her doctor. Her new counselor listens closely while Maya tells what has been happening at home. Her counselor then says, I am your counselor, Maya. It is probably best not to make big decisions when you're in crisis. Tell me what you feel would be most helpful. Mommy, Daddy is so mean to you and hurts you all the time. When he's mad like that, it really scares me. Why doesn't he just stop? And if he doesn't stop, why can't we just leave? Maya has also been referred to victim services for support to keep her and her son safe. Maya, I understand that you have a restraining order against your husband, but that he has been stalking you and making you feel unsafe at home at the moment. We have a local women's shelter. They can help you and can provide a safe place for you to stay. Maya finally calls the Revelstoke Women's Shelter Crisis Line. The frontline worker is very supportive. Hello, Maya. I am so glad you called. We are here for you. We can provide you with a safe place for you and your son to stay while you plan your next steps. We can also coordinate all the community resources that you may need and assist you with the necessary paperwork. Maya decides to go back to the community support worker. She now wants to create a new life for herself and her son, one that is free of violence and abuse. Maya, you did everything you could to make your marriage work. Lee didn't. We have many services that can help support you. We can help you find childcare for your son while you're at work. We have support groups for women going through a similar situation as yours. We even have a food bank that could help when you're struggling to provide enough food. Maya, what do you need to make this work? Maya's neighbors have heard that Lee has a restraining order against him and have realized that the noises they heard were not the typical stress of families and shift work. We can help out by watching your son when you work late. He can come to our apartment, we'll cook dinner for him. When you come home, there'll be some for you as well. Maya calls her mother and finally tells her everything that has been happening. She talks to her mother about the many resources that she has discovered and tells her that she does not want to work things out with Lee. Maya, I am so sorry for not realizing how serious this has been. You are so strong. If you need me to come and stay with you for a bit, please let me know. Or if you want, I'd love to have my grandson come stay with me for a couple of weeks while you figure things out. I love you both and will do whatever I can to help out. Maya hasn't seen her friend Anita in a long time. Then she receives a call. Maya, all those times I've seen your cuts and bruises, the physical and the emotional abuse, and I didn't do anything. But Maya, you did. You are such a powerful woman.